Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 15 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania for the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400. It'll be a 32 lap event here around this 2.5 mile tricky triangle. And we're going to have ourselves a very interesting race because this race tends to have extremely long green flag runs. I know in Season 5 and Season 7 this race went caution-free, and I can't quite remember if it did in Season 6, but it might have. And that means that fuel strategy and tire strategy comes into play significantly. However, this season we've been less frequent on the pit stop, so we might only have one pit stop in today's event. So, Marty, I'm going to ask you, with the fewer pit stops in this race and what we have seen in prior seasons, how do you think it's going to play out for these guys in making their strategy calls in this really long green flag race?
I think we're going to see probably a one-stop strategy today. We've been seeing, like you said, less frequent pit stops. We've usually seen more in previous seasons, but I think we get a one-stop strategy. I think, in my opinion, though, it's going to be close near the end on whether drivers can make it to that second, have to come in for a second time to get a splash of gas or not. But if they get a caution flag, that could help them out big time. We could see this being a one-stop race then.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not really expecting a caution here today. Like I said, last season we went caution-free. Season 5 we went caution-free as well. We don't get many cautions here at the Pocono Raceway, which definitely plays into that strategy highly significantly here when we come for our annual stop here at Pocono. But either way, a very interesting race last week. It also went caution-free, and it was dominated by Mark Davidson. With that, Mark Davidson's back in the championship hunt. He's right on our points leader, but he's not the points leader. It's Nathan Baird in the number 40, who leads the championship standings with 400 points even coming into the second half of the season. Mark Davidson is 5 points behind him. John Andrews, who was the points leader heading in to last week's race at Charlotte, is now 7 points behind. Then it's Emily Anderson, 11 points behind, and Rookie of the Year contender Sebastian Kukulon, 34 points behind. As a matter of fact, 4 of the top 5 drivers in points are Rookie of the Year contenders, including Nathan Baird, Mark Davidson, and Emily Anderson. But starting on the front row for today's event, it is a couple of veterans. Sophomore driver Michael Canto, driving the number 12 machine, was fastest in group qualifying yesterday. He is starting alongside 8th-season veteran Garrett Zenor in the number 16. And Garrett Zenor might be a little bit worried with the guy who is starting 3rd, John Arndt. Won his 18th career Napa Fan race last Friday in the Freedom 50, and with one more win, he would tie Garrett Zenor on the all-time wins list. Of course, John Arndt currently tied with Caleb Hoffman on the all-time wins list, and this is the place where Caleb Hoffman earned his 18th career win. So it might work out pretty well for John Arndt. He's starting 3rd on the inside lane alongside Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton really needing a rebound in that number 28 machine. Last in the points, he is over 200 points off the points lead. I mean, the championship is completely out of his reach already, but a win would definitely spark some good thoughts and good vibes back into that number 28 team after the struggle they have had so far this season. Our points leader, Nathan Baird, starts in the 5th position alongside Riley Spurley, another guy who's really deep in the points. And Christian Russell, great to see him make his 2nd straight race here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's been qualifying very well as of late in the number 62. Unserved driver alongside Emily Anderson in the number 5, who is 4th in the championship standings coming into today's event. Jonathan Skibnicki, the Martinsville winner from earlier this season. You might remember that race, Marty, alongside Jesse Turner in the number 77, looking to get his 6th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory here today. Who you got winning this race, Marty? Michael Canto, John Arndt, Garrett Zenor, or somebody else in the field?
I'd say, with it being a track where you're most likely going to have to rely on the turning, as the track's based on 3 specific tracks. Turn 1 based on Tryon, Turn 2 Indy, Turn 3 Milwaukee. Going to come down to probably definitely those braking zones. Watch out for that old 5 Zaxby's car of John Arndt, in my opinion.
Yeah. John Art's been on a roll as of late. He's looking for win number 19 of his career. Garrett Sonora looking for win number 20. Michael Canto looking for his first Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. We're green flag racing in the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400. Let's get this one started from the tricky triangle. Michael Canto will get a bonus point towards the championship for leading lap number 1 here at the Pocono Raceway, but John Art all over his back bumper and to the inside for the race lead on lap number 2. Garrett Sonora is cleared for 3rd. The great move there by driver number 16, but great move by John Art trying to get to the inside of Michael Canto, unable to get the run on the inside through turn 1, and Canto remains out front here at Pocono.
I told you guys, watch out for that 05 machine of John Arndt. However, though, look at that AT&T number 16 of Garrett Sonora. Two of the best drivers on Napa Fan battling it out at the moment.
They're right now 1-2 on the all-time wins list of current active drivers in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So definitely a lot of experience right behind Michael Canto right there. But not to take anything away from Michael Canto, he is a very experienced driver as well. I believe he has one win in the Modified Tour that we tried last year. That series never really finished through, but Canto has won on Napa Fan before, but never in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. A huge opportunity for him. We really haven't seen much of him this season, and he's holding pretty strong right now in the number 12. But John Arndt has other ideas. He's going to get a good run to the inside right there. They're going to be side by side off the corner. And you can't mention the best drivers in this series without mentioning the points leader, Nathan Baird. 400 total points coming into this race. And he is 4th right now in the number 40. If you're a numbers guy, number 4, a pretty good number for Nathan Baird. Currently running 4th here at Pocono, which doesn't have 4 corners. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, what's 4?
But John Hart just cleared the Sonora, but watch out for, he cleared Canto, but watch out for Sonora. And see if he can get the strafe down the front straightaway on the 05.
Garrett Sonora will clear Michael Canto for the 2nd position. Canto will clear Nathan Baird. Emily Anderson trying to work the outside lane on Nathan Baird. Then you got Radley Spurley up here. Christian Russell on the 62. We have yet to have an uncharted driver win a race this season. This might be the longest we've ever gone into a recent season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series without an uncharted driver winning. But Christian Russell doing a good job for his home team, American Motorsports. This their home race, so we'll have to see what Trey Wright's team can do here today. Nathan Stapleton inside the top 10, Skimnicki and Julius Anderson. Knock on wood right here. Nathan Stapleton still going for his first top 10 of the season. Very reminiscent of what Luke Rainey did last year in this series as he went nearly the entire season before getting a top 10. But he actually went on to win 2 races last year, so might be a good omen for the driver in the number 28 this season. Might get a couple of victories before the season ends, like Luke Rainey did last year. We'll have to find out. We got the number 22, Julius Anderson, rounding out the top 10. We got Justin Roberts just outside the top 10 to the inside of Jesse Turner back in there. But the single file throughout the top 8 positions, John Art continuing to lead the race. And he also gets a bonus point towards the championship for leading a lap here in the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400.
Yeah, that battle for 9th, I believe you said, that's looking really good between, if we go back to that, it looks like that's gone now to be a single file. I believe Anderson was passed by that 20 of, was it the 20 or, yes, I think.
Now, 38 machine there, Justin Roberts, he cleared him, Alonzo cleared Turner. They're all getting around Jesse Turner right now. The 77 stuck up top. Not a good place to be here at Pocono, but this is really, really interesting. Single file throughout the top 12 positions here at Pocono. But nobody seems to be really getting a run right now. But watch out for Garrett Sonora. Michael Canto's going to try on Sonora. Sonora's going to try on John Art. 3 wide for the race lead here at Pocono.
Man, what a toe that Canto had on Sonora when he tried to get the toe off John Art. But it looks like Sonora's going to go away with that lead.
That was a veteran move right there by Garrett
Sonora.
Look
who this opens to, Napa. The guy in 3rd place.
How about Nathan Baird moving his way through the field here, pushing Canto. Senor's going to clear and start to pull away. And that was a brilliant move by Garrett Senor. Canto made the move first, but then Senor moved to the inside. And the middle line's where you want to be through turn number 1. Canto was just too low to get the run up there. He is going to be second after all that. John Arndt, the real loser after that one, as he fell on the outside lane, but he is hanging with Nathan Baird right now for third. But Garrett Senor, bonus point towards the championship for him. And Senor comes into this race 8th in the championship standing as well, 53 points behind. He is very much so in contention for this championship, especially if he can finish top 10, top 5 here today at Pocono.
It would be a huge points-paying day for him, definitely.
We'll have to see what Garrett Senor can do as this race goes along. Remember, we will have at least one set of pit stops in this race. We'll be able to tell what the fuel window is once they make their first stop, because by the looks of it, this race is going to go caution-free. By the looks of it.
John Arndt in third did a good job using the high line to get away from Nathan Baird there when he was in so much trouble, especially in that tunnel turn.
Good job there by John Arndt, finding a way around our points leader. He might have the run on Canto for the second position. We'll have to see how it all shakes out for him. Meanwhile, back in there, we got a hornet's nest of drivers. They figured it out that the top 25 positions, but back in here, you got a lot of guys battling for positions continuously. Yepes, Kukulon, Roger Ray. A lot of these guys did not get good starting positions, and they're trying to find their way to that single file so they can move their way through the field. There's Trey Barger, who won his first career Napa fan race at this very racetrack back in 2015. And this isn't good for the guy who comes into this race third in the championship standings, John Andrews. Currently last on the racetrack, and Mark Davidson, our last winner, very deep in the field in the number 95.
Yeah, qualifying did not work out for those guys one bit. You wanted to be starting towards the front.
And Davidson really checking up there through the corner. He definitely has a tight race car. It's not working out too well for Davidson right now. Not exactly what we saw
the lead!
Last week at Charlotte. And Michael Canto got the run of the inside of Garrison.
Look at
got the tail end of that one. And Canto back to the point here at Pocono on lap number 9. Here comes John Arndt to the inside of Garrison Orr, taking second back away from him. And I think Nathan Barrett's going to grab a position as well in the number 16. Here comes Arndt for the race lead in the 05.
That toe worked out well for Baird, and same with John Arndt. Arndt's going to clear that 12 of Canto and take the lead away.
John Arndt last won at Darlington last season. And like I said, as of late, he's been on a roll. He won the final race in the IROC Series, won the Freedom 50 special event in Indianapolis, and here he is leading the field at Pocono in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series for EGI. Have to see what John Arndt can do. Nathan Baird has some help there from Garrett Senor. Senor's going to try to make a 3 wide on the 40 and the 12, but he might be a little bit too low through the corner to make anything stick. But he's got a run on Nathan Baird. He might be able to keep that advantage on the inside down the Long Pond straightaway, but it's not going to work for Garrett Senor. Nathan Baird clears for second. Riley Spurley to the inside for the 4th position, and Canto falling back in the number 12. He's got shuffled out of line. And look at Nathan Baird closing right in the 04, or in the 05, I should say, of John Arndt. Nathan Baird looking for his 3rd win of the season. He's the only driver so far to win multiple races, winning in Atlanta and Dover. But looking like right here, he might get the win at Pocono for his 3rd win of the season as the points leader. Nathan Baird, Richard Kingart, the owner of this team, Kingart Family Racing, they have been excellent this season. Garrett Senor, though, he is going to be fighting very hard for his 20th career win. It's been since November of 2017 since Garrett Senor's last won a race on Napa Fam. And he is right up front with the win right in front of him. How hard do you think Senor's going to go for this race victory in this race?
Really badly here, Napa. But I'm going to go back to Nathan Baird here. He had a really good toe on Arndt. I don't know why he decided not to look to the inside there on Senor. But speaking of Senor, he just lost 3rd position to the Chick-fil-A car.
Garrett Senor got shuffled out of line, hit the outside wall. Riley Spurley in the 39 ended up going by him, and Senor falling way back. His teammate, Jonathan Skimnicki, to the inside as well, and that was not good at all for Garrett Senor. He's got some right side damage after that. So he overshot the corner.
all those drivers up front just said see you later to Garrett, and he is getting past big time. I would not be surprised if he decided to short pit and go on a different strategy here.
Wouldn't be a bad move by Garrison, or he's still top 10 right now. Gonna find a hole there with help from his teammate Jonathan Skimnicki.
Oh, for the lead!
Two guys battling for the lead at Martinsville, and battling for the lead here at Pocono. Nathan Baird and John Arndt, but I think Arndt's gonna get it on the outside. Baird has no drafting help behind him.
And plus, Arndt had the banking on the high side as momentum to keep him the race lead. But good try there by Nathan, though. Let's see if that 39 of Spurley can help him out.
Riley Spurley. You know, I think Spurley's going to try to get the position on Baird off of turn 3 here. He's got the draft. And he's going to toe right in on that number 40 and try to make a move to the inside, entering turn number 1. I could tell by how he went off the corner that he was right there on the 40. We get to the inside. Looks like he's going to get it there on the 40 of Nathan Baird and take second away from our points leader, Christian Russell. How about this guy for American Motorsports? Uncharted driver didn't even make a race until I think it was Talladega.
Yeah.
And even then, we didn't even do qualifying for it. He first qualified his way into a race last week in the Coke 600, and he qualified his way back in. He was the fastest in Uncharted qualifying, qualified 7th overall in pole qualifying, and here he is 4th in the race, about halfway through, and here we go. It's going to be a 2-stop race, guys, because they're coming down now before halfway. John Arndt down, Nathan Baird, Emily Anderson, Garrett Senor, and Ace Garcia, or actually Michael Canto, I should say, all down the pit lane here on lap 13.
Let's see what they're going to do here. I am expecting right now 4 Goodyear tires here and Sunoco fuel.
We'll have to see how it all plays out for those guys. Riley Spurley with a bonus point towards the championship as he led that lap right there. Jonathan Skimnicki, Justin Roberts, Nathan
Now these
Stephen,
guys here,
they all stayed out, but we'll have to see. These guys are going to get an advantage because they're going to have those fresh tires a little bit longer, and tires mean a lot here at Pocono. You're heavy on the braking, especially through turn 3, and it plays a big dividend if you have fresh tires here at this racetrack. So 1 lap means a lot. You can gain a couple of seconds if you get the pit stop done before everybody else. And
plus these drivers here, Nampa, will have the advantage when they come out because they'll be all in the throttle. These guys will just be coming up to speed. And it looks like Zachary Fitzwater on the 9 is going to stay out a little bit longer as well here.
We're going to have to see if this ends up being a strategy race because we have 5 guys who have yet to make a pit stop. Fitzy, the 15 of Matthew Phillips, Fisher G, Daniel McMillan, and Wyatt Quayle. Everybody else down the pit lane here. You see Christian Russell on the 62. The 39 of Riley Spurley. They were the top 2 guys of this group. We're going to follow with who will be our race leader once this whole thing cycles through there. You got John Arndt going through turn 3. We're going to have to see where all these guys come out in relation to John Arndt. And you can see right there Nathan Stapleton in the 28 with the high pit stall there. Christian Russell coming out onto the racetrack. We'll have to see where John Arndt is. There he is. There's Christian Russell. John Arndt's going to drive away in the 05. But I think Russell's still going to be part of this. If he gains a draft here with Nathan Baird or Julius Anderson, he's going to have a shot at closing his way back up to the race leader. But it's looking pretty good for Christian Russell, and it's looking very good right now for John Arndt in the 05, closing in on halfway to the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400 at Pocono.
Now, I'm not saying this won't happen, but these drivers in the back are most likely going to need a caution or John Arndt having to have a struggle on pit strategy. So, yeah.
We'll have to see how it all goes down for those guys. You can see the leaders coming around. John Arndt just crossing the line to begin lap 16. I believe Fitzwater gained 2 laps led right there, but they're going to drive around all of those guys. Now, these guys were deeper in the field anyway, so it's natural to assume that they're going to be a little bit deeper in the field right here. They got to be careful. Oh, that's close right there between Senor and Ace Garcia. And if we were to get a caution, which I really think it's unlikely here at Pocono, by the looks of it, I should say, because they're just so spread out and they're pretty controlled right now. It's a very easy racetrack to maneuver around, even though all the turns are different. They tend to not overshoot the corners here too much. You got Fitzwater, he is still falling back in the 9. And like I said, the acceleration means a lot here at Pocono because if you don't have the acceleration on the rest of the field, it is going to be hard to keep up with the field in the first couple of laps. And you see Fitzwater falling back there on the outside lane. Garrett Sonora really fell back into 16 after hitting the outside wall. He's falling back to this whole thing cycles through. We'll have to see here.
But anyway, yeah.
It hasn't fully cycled through yet. 13th for Garrett Sonora. Not the best of runs there for him after hitting the outside wall.
Wow, look at that,
we got a battle for the lead now. John Art, Nathan Baird, Julius Anderson is up here as well in the number 22. And Anderson's a guy who's never won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race before, but he's got a really strong car for Hamill Racing Enterprises, running third right now behind Nathan Baird and our race leader, John Art. I think Anderson might have a shot at this race victory here tonight.
I think Anderson's got a good chance, but I've just been going through the scanner of John Arntt's radio. He's saying he's feeling a little bit tight in turn 1, which in my opinion, I know people say turn 2 is the toughest. I say turn 1 is the toughest. That's just like because you're going so fast down that front stretch. I think the front stretch, if I'm correct, is the longest part of the track, and then you have all that banking in turn 1.
Yeah, you've got a really, really high bank corner, but it's also really tight as well, turn 1 here at Pocono, so got to be a little bit careful. As far as I know, it's actually the tightest corner here at the Pocono Raceway, so you take the biggest angle through that corner as any part of the racetrack here at the Pocono Raceway. Well, here's one guy, a couple of guys who have really done a good job so far in this one. Alexander Rowe in the 06, been since Season 6 at Rockingham, UK, since he's last won a race here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's got Alonso to the outside of him as well. They're both just outside the top 5 right now. Great runs for those drivers there. And I'll have to see if they find a way to close in on our race leaders before the next and what will be the final cycle of pit stops here on the Herr's Lift Life with Flavor 400. But now let me tell you, we got ourselves a 4-horse race right now between John Arndt, Nathan Baird, Julius Anderson, and Christian Russell. And with these guys going single file, they're actually pulling away from these guys who are battling for the 5th position. And we got an interesting scenario right here. They almost went 4 wide off the corner with Alonso, Emily Anderson, Spurley, and Michael Canto.
Yeah, I mean this pack, that pack right there, that second pack has been the best battling. But what they want to be careful is, in my opinion, I'd rather stay single file and try and work your weight and try and get back up to that top 4, because more battling means less momentum.
Now this is shaping up to be very similar to the Season 6 race here, where Caleb Hoffman stayed out longer than anybody else and then took fuel only on his last pit stop and held everybody off for the race win. We could easily see that because the last cycle is going to be right near the end of this race, and we got a battle for the race lead. Nathan Baird to the inside of John Art. Can't stop this guy. A single car team. The single car teams last year did not do too well. This single car team has been excellent. And Nathan Baird is a rookie driver of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's just putting on a show this entire season.
Yeah,
but John Art, with the help
from
Julius Anderson on the outside, will clear him and stay out front.
That's because Arndt had the draft and Baird didn't. Now the question is, could this cost Baird second? Because Anderson's doing a pretty good job on that high side.
He is. We'll have to see if he gets the run off of turn number 3. It's possible, but that inside's pretty much where you want to be through the corner. If Anderson could keep the outside off the corner, he might have a shot. But he doesn't have any drafting up right now, and I think Christian Russell will push Nathan Baird to clear Julius Anderson for the 2nd position. These guys, on the other hand, they are actually falling behind, and they keep on falling behind. It's now Justin Roberts running in the 5th position. These guys are ones that are going to have to play with strategy on the next cycle because their only shot at getting up to the race lead is if they go fuel only or 2 tires on the next stop. And they really don't need a full set of tires on the next stop because we're only going to have maybe about 4 or 5 laps after the last cycle. So what do you do if you're one of these guys in this pack on your final stop? Do you go fuel only, you go 2 tires, or do you just go with the flow and take 4?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a strategy game with these drivers taking 2 tires or fuel only, because I remember in the past 2 actual real-life truck races at Kansas Speedway, Stuart Friesen, my boy, who, by the way, got 3rd in the race I went to on Monday, tried to do some strategy, but it did not pay off. We all know how it went.
We'll have to see how it all plays out. Christian Russell looking very strong. He got around the 22 of Julius Anderson. The thing about Christian Russell is he actually came down a lap later than all these guys around him, so his tires are slightly fresher at this point than our race leaders, so he might have a bit of an advantage in that number 62 machine. John Art pulling away from Nathan Baird. It's looking really good for John Arndt right now, but what's the advice you give to Nathan Baird, Christian Russell, Julius Anderson in trying to find a way around the 05?
You just got to draft up to him, get a good toe off of John Arndt, and then especially if you're Nathan Baird, you have to hope that Anderson and I forgot what's the 62 again?
Christian Russell.
Christian Russell, yes, that's right. Work with him and try and make a pass for the win. But the thing is here, now the battle for third takes place. They're going to lose the momentum. Baird and Arndt are going to try and pull away here. And speaking of Nathan Baird, look to the inside for the lead. I think he may have something that could stick here, Nampa.
He might, but John Arndt's got the run up top in the 05, and I believe he might clear him again. He's not going to get
yet.
He's not going to get it. He's going to need Russell to push him, and I don't think it's going to quite happen.
Oh,
he might get the run up top.
Look at that, he does.
John Arndt trying to hold on to the race lead ahead of Nathan Baird, but Baird has the inside the whole way through, and now Christian Russell helping the 40. It took Nathan Baird long enough to make the pass on John Arndt, but he finally did it. We'll have to see. John Arndt trying to get the run up top, not going to happen. New race leader, it's Nathan Baird. With now 9 laps to go, and the Herrs live life with flavor 400 from Pocono. Nathan Baird now the guy to beat here in this 32-lap event. Do you think John Arndt's going to make the crossover here anytime soon?
I could see that happening. It's a possibility, but I feel like all these drivers are going to work with Baird and try and get him a points-leading win.
We'll have to see. John Arndt definitely wants win number 19 of his career. If he were to get it, he'd be tied with Garrett Sonora for the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. That would definitely be something. He knows it's right there. He has been probably driving the best race of anybody, him along with Nathan Baird. I mean, all these guys, all top 4, have been running an excellent race so far. We'll have to see. John Arndt staying right behind the 40. It's going to come down to pit strategy, and this final cycle is going to be very soon. Arndt with a run to the inside. Baird overshot turn 3, and John Arndt's going to have a run off of turn number 3. To possibly get to the inside entering turn number 1. He's got it here. I can tell he's going to make the move.
Oh, watch the 62 of Russell first up.
Oh, boy. John Arndt was able to clear the 62, and he's got the help from Christian Russell this time, and he's going to dive right by the number 40. Here comes Russell. John Arndt overshot it just a little bit through the corner. Russell's going to get to the inside of Nathan Baird for second, and John Arndt's back out front here at the Pocono Raceway.
John Arndt just said, see you later there to Nathan Baird, although he's trying to get that toe off of Arndt and use the high side to work out pretty well, but that's not going good for him. Watch Russell and Anderson, but all this battling is going to help Arndt pull away and maybe even go for a W here.
He might get it here. You might be seeing pit stops here very soon here at the Pocono Raceway. They first came down lap 13, so lap 26 would be the marker for the next cycle, I would believe. So about a 13 to 14 to 15 lap fuel run here at the Pocono Raceway. So it will be a 2-stop race regardless. We've already made our first stop. We still have one more stop to go in this race, and they keep on swapping positions for the race lead. Nope.
But now, Napa, sorry to interrupt you. Here's the thing. These two drivers here in second, third, and fourth, they've been drafting behind John Arndt, who, in my opinion, I believe right now, he has led the most laps. The guys behind him that are in the draft, they are saving more fuel in the draft because they don't need as much. They don't need as much gas compared to John Arndt right now. So watch this pretty closely here. Could second, third, and fourth play a different strategy compared to John Arndt?
We'll have to see.
But I think
really,
right now they're coming in.
Follow these pit stops closely when they occur here, and I think they might be happening here very soon.
They're coming. Oh, they're gonna keep going.
I don't think anyone's gonna come down quite yet, but they're gonna come down very shortly here. I think next time by they're gonna come down and start the cycle again. Russell to the inside. Look at all those guys single file behind our top 4. And they look to be slowing down almost, but the green flag is still out, so it's just a tire wear. Those guys really checked up. They're a little ways behind at this point. I mean, what are these guys going to do on the pit strategy? Are they going to come take fuel only?
They're going to go fuel. They got to do whatever it takes to get that win, but Anderson's trying to look to the inside. He's not going to get it. Oh, he may actually get it, but they're going to come in this lap, I'm hearing.
Yeah, they're going to come down. Some of these guys are going to come down this time by. You want to be one of the first guys to come down.
Yeah, look at Baird slowing down.
Yeah, Nathan Baird and the number 40. I think John Arndt's going to come down here.
He saw Baird slow down, and look at Russell going to play some strategy.
Well, Russell was a lap later than everybody else the last time, and look at what these guys are doing. The majority of the guys behind our race leaders staying out. A lot of these guys coming down right now. Let's see how this all plays out. Christian Russell out front.
And
He's
now,
got a lap lead here at Pocono. We'll have to see what they take. John Art in the 05. Let's see what he does on this pit stop. If he goes fuel only, I think he's good to go. But he's looking to take some tires here.
Now, who I could see this affecting big time here, maybe Zachary Fitzwater. If he has been slowing down just enough.
Right size. It was just right size for John Art and Nathan Baird. They're going to get out right on each other here.
But now, as I was saying, if Zachary Fitzwater has been slowing down just enough, I feel like he could play this game just right and maybe even win this race. We'll have to see.
He's definitely going to have to make another stop. We still have 4 laps to go. There's no way he can make it to the end. There's no way anybody can make it to the end. Now, here's the big factor. We're going to watch with Jonathan Skimnicki here. If he takes fuel only, it's game on. Because those guys who came in ahead of him took 2 tires. If I'm Skimnicki, I take fuel only. That's how Caleb Hoffman won this race 2 years ago. And if you want to get a race victory here, that's what you got to do. Christian Russell in the 62. He's taking tires. Skimnicki's taking tires. This is not a good move by any of these guys, in my opinion. You want to take fuel only because it's not like those guys have too much of an advantage anyway. Here's Christian Russell coming off. We'll have to see where he comes in relation to everybody else here.
I saw the 05 on the top left corner of the screen for a moment. There he is. He's going to get by. And look at Nathan Baird up to the back bumper.
Nathan Baird is right here. Baird's a little wide off the corner, and John Art continues to lead. Christian Russell's trying to hang on here, but I don't think he's going to have enough. Now will any of these guys go fuel only? Riley Spurley, Justin Roberts, Zachary Fitzwater.
Who's that going by? Who's that going by on the front stretch?
We'll have to see who that is. Not entirely sure. It's McMillan. McMillan staying on an extra lap here. There's no way he can make it to the end. But that would be something if McMillan were able to get this race victory. I'd be shocked if he were to get it.
They're all going 2 tires here.
Yeah, it's just you can't do that.
This place is just so bad on tires.
It
wears them out a lot.
But I don't like that call at all. You got to go against what the leaders are doing if we're going to have a shot here. And we're going to watch out here for Daniel McMillan. He's the only guy yet to make a stop. If he stays out this time, he's in it to the end. But I venture to say he's coming down here. There's just simply no way you can make it to the end. And McMillan will come down. That's going to give way to this race either going to Nathan Baird or John Art.
Baird's got the advantage here, especially when we come into 2 and 3.
John Art got a really good run up top. We'll have to see if he can clear through turn number 3. It's going to be 2 laps to go next time by, and John Art stays out front. John Art is going for win number 19 of his career to tie Garrison Orr as the all-time winningest driver. This is huge for John Art in the 05. To become one of the legends on NAPA. And he's already one of the legends on NAPA fan, and this win would definitely cement that.
Not over yet, though. Here comes
Nathan Baird trying to take it away from him to the inside in return number 1. But John Art powering through turn number 1. Great run on the outside lane.
Now watch Nathan Baird. Do not be surprised if Baird puts the bumper or puts some contact to John Art, being so aggressive. You're going for a win at the tricky triangle.
We'll have to see what Nathan Baird can do. Trying to get his 3rd win of the season. John Art.
Baird had the good run for a moment.
I think the thing Art needs to do is get to the back bumper of the 40 as quick as possible to have a chance at this one. But he's really getting a run up top here.
Oh, boy.
John Art really hanging tough on the outside lane. He might clear Nathan Baird. He will. White flag in the air for John Art. A power move on the outside to take it here at Pocono with 1 lap to go. Will John Art hold off the number 40 and win his 19th career Napa fan race?
If I'm John Art here coming off of turns 1 and 2, I am going to be like a snake and try and break the draft of Nathan Baird here.
We'll have to see what he does. Nathan Baird fell off just a little bit there. He could not work the inside, and it might just be because these guys only took right sides and not left sides. If it was 4 tires for Nathan Baird, I think he would have been able to make the move. But Nathan Baird,
up the back
he's
bumper,
going to try again. That's it. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to have to make the move entering turn number 3 if he's going to have any chance at getting to the 05 for the race lead. Entering turn number 3, John Art will block him, hold the inside lane. And we have ourselves a new all-time winningest driver on Napa fan. He's tied with Garrison Orr for the honor, but 19 wins for John Art, who wins the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400 at the Pocono Raceway. John Arndt winning, I believe, that is his 6th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory and his 19th career Napa fan win here today at the Pocono Raceway. Absolutely unbelievable what John Arndt has done the past couple of weeks to get him to this point. 19 wins for John Arndt. And one more win would put him at 20 on the wins list. What a run there by John Arndt, able to hold off Nathan Baird on the outside lane. He earned this win, he dominated this race, and that is a race well deserved, a win well deserved for John Arndt here tonight in the Herr's Live Life with Flavor 400. How about those moves John Arndt made on the outside lane to come home with this victory?
Just an unbelievable performance by John Arndt, the best driver in the race. Easily put this guy in the Napa Fan Hall of Fame.
We'll get there someday. He'll definitely be in it when we get there. But John Arndt, the race winner here at Pocono. Nathan Baird, Christian Russell, Julius Anderson, and how about Alexander Rowe finishing 5th here today? You got Skimnicki, Ace Garcia, Riley Spurley, Zachary Fitzwater, and Justin Roberts, the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results. I believe everybody finished on the lead lap here, but Cody Sill and John Andrews, oh boy, that's not good. He's going to fall back in the points. Mark Davidson, 20th, but the points leader will definitely remain as Nathan Baird heading into Michigan next week, as our points leader finished 2nd here today, almost got his 3rd win of the season, but I think John Arndt deserved it just a little bit more with those moves he made. 19 career wins on that fin, and it came out of nowhere as well. He was at 16 wins 2 weeks ago, and now he's tied with Garrett Sonor as the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. One more win for John Arndt, and he's at number 20. And from Garrett Sonor's standpoint, how does that make you feel? Garrett Sonor's been trying for number 20 for a year and a half. You know, what does Garrett Sonor need to do to get number 20 before John Arndt?
Oh man, imagine if the race for number 20 in a future race comes down to either Garrett Sonor and John Arndt at the same in the same race. That'd be insane.
It definitely would be, and it might happen next week.
To answer your question though, sorry. I would say Garrett Sonor, I think he's angry. I think he's a man. I think he's gonna be like Alexander Rossi in the Indy 500 and he's gonna go for it probably every single race 110%.
We'll just have to see, and it could very well be next week in one of our crown jewel events. You're going to like this one, Marty. It used to be the NRLOA 500. Well, we're changing that up this year because it's now the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's the NOFSRL 500 from Michigan. 50 laps of action around that 2-mile racetrack in Brooklyn, Michigan. It's a 500-mile race versus what would normally be a 400-mile race in Michigan, so it's a bit of a different scenario compared to a regular Chick-fil-A Cup Series race because it's the only 500-mile race, of course shortened to 20% of the length, of course, at a 2-mile racetrack, so it always plays into strategy. It's always a fun race. Last year Stuart Gratton won it. We could be seeing another veteran getting the win next week. We saw a veteran win today. We might see it again next week in one of the biggest races of the year, the NOFSRL 500. You looking forward to that one, Marty?
Oh, I'm always excited, looking forward to the race at Michigan. Michigan's one of my favorite tracks we go to every year. Provides great racing at that 2-mile D-shaped oval.
And it definitely will be a great race for the 16th race of the season next week here on Napa Fan. Congratulations to John Arndt for tying Garrett Sonor on the all-time wins list out of nowhere. And here he is with 19 career wins. With that, he might move himself up in the points pretty well. John Arndt getting it done here today at the Tricky Triangle. Well, Marty, we'll see you next time. We might end up doing the NOFSRL 500 together. That'd be pretty fitting, so we'll have to see what our schedules, when our schedules align for that. But definitely hope to have you alongside again. Next week, we got IndyCar Series from Texas and the NOFSRL 500. And then the week after that, so we got the James and Dean Wickard Shootout. We had sign-ups for that last night. So we're looking forward to seeing how that all goes down, because it's going to be a fun event, June 13th or 15th. But anyway, got a lot of great stuff coming up on that, Tim. Thank you guys for sticking with me after this past week. You know, it's been stressful, but coming clean to you guys definitely helped out. And now I'm enjoying it just a little bit more, knowing I don't have as much to do, and it's always a good balance to things. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So it's just good to keep that in mind, and gonna make sure we do it in moderation, but we also want to have fun with it as well. And we had fun with this one here from Pocono. John Art getting the race victory. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the point standings after 15 races in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And on behalf of Marty Johnson, I will see you guys later.
It's the call of the wild. Yeah, it's just the call of the wild. Yeah, it's the call of the wild.